to welcome you to Beenham for the Reading Club meeting and the Imba Round on the 26th of August 1984. And we've got some very good racing today. We've got the final round of the 750 AMCA Championships, plus 2 rounds of the 250 Championship and the 4-stroke. And of course the main attraction today, we've got teams from Holland, Germany, Belgium and Switzerland, as well as an AMC A and B team in the sidecar races. Right, Peter, you're on video. Yeah. And what do you think of the track today?
Track's good, yeah.
You got any problems with the machine?
Yeah, 1 or 2, she's not 100%, we don't know what it is yet.
You're trying to sort it out?
Yeah, we're still at the talking about it stage at the moment. We don't know, we haven't decided what's wrong, but...
You're going to be ready for the next set of practice?
I hope so, yeah. Well, obviously, yeah, because I want to be able to try it in the next set of practice to find out if what we've done has cured it or not, so...
You were late coming out for the first practice, weren't you?
That's right, that was, well, the same problem. We went to go off in the first lot of practice, we just died, it didn't want to go, so we quickly just changed plugs and it started up and ran. But it's not running 100%, so we don't know what's...
All right, we'll let you carry on. I hope you can sort it out before the next lot of practice.
All right, thanks very much.
Right, have you got any problems?
You got a problems?
Have you got problems?
No.
No? All right, are you happy with the track?
Yes, I like it.
You do? And do your other teammates like it?
Please?
Do your other riders in the team?
Yes, I had the riders.
They all like the track?
Yes, I think too.
This is what? It's Yamaha, yes?
Yamaha.
Have you got all Yamahas? No, you've got EMLs as well?
Yes. I always driving with EML.
How do you think the team will get on today? What chances have your team got of winning?
I just tried to be first.
He just tries to be first?
Tried.
Yeah. All right, we wish you all the best.
Ask me that later.
Yeah, we'll ask you later. All right, we wish you all the best anyway.
Okay, thank you.
How's the knee, Kevin?
Still a bit sore, a bit of fluid around the joints. But
yeah. How's it standing up with the track?
So as long as I don't have to do too much paddling.
Yeah. So, do you like the track?
Yeah, fast. I had no front braking first practice, so I hope to get a few fast laps in this time.
So you're going to second practice with a start gate. See how you get on. We'll hope the knee holds up for you.
Thanks a lot.
All the best.
Cheers.
167, his 4-stroke KTM belongs to Stephen Luff, Surrey and Sussex Club. He's one of the home group riders. How'd you get on in first lot of practice, Stephen?
All right.
Any problems?
Nah, it's just got to get used to it, innit?
What do you think of the artificial jump?
Which one? The one on the hill? It's all right.
Under the railway sleepers.
That's all right.
You'll be pleased to know you haven't failed the noise test today. You're well within the limit.
Is it?
Yes, no problem at all. What do you think? What do you rate your chances there?
I don't know.
Like to predict where you come? First
Top
10?
5, I hope, yeah. Top 5.
He hopes to. You don't sound very sure. You need a bit of a G up there.
Wait and see what happens.
On it too?
Yeah, why not?
I've just won the World Championship, didn't I?
As long as you don't get the grips on me. Right, I told you earlier on, Rob, you couldn't ride up here. In fact, you can. So,
Yeah, I'll find out.
What do you think of the track then, Rob?
Good track.
Do you like the artificial jump?
Yeah, sends you up pretty high.
No problems. And you're from the Purbeck Club. It's one of our local home group. You reckon you stand a fair chance today?
Get a good gate, do well.
And,
Got to get a good
if
gate.
you don't know about Dad, will have something to say. Dad, as you probably know, is a professional wrestler.
Start.
You've done your second set of practice with the start gate now, have you?
Yeah.
So you're all set to go?
Yeah. All ready.
You're looking more than ready.
Pretty high.
Anyway, wish you all the best.
Yeah.
I wonder why he had his bloody blazer on.
Right, coming down from the AMCA, what do you think of the track?
Excellent, excellent. I think we're in for some really good racing today. It's very close in the internationals, and it's also been the last round of 750. I think we're really in for some good racing today.
Well, between Andy Breacher and Phil Small, it really should be a battle with close on points.
It's going to be very tight. I think if anything, Small's got that little bit more experience. He done the same thing in last year's championship, waited to the last round.
And took Kevin Reid, didn't he?
And yes, precisely. It's almost a carbon copy of what happened last time, but I'm really expecting breach it to possibly just steal it. I think he's got that little bit more speed than the Kawasaki.
There were rumours that Phil Small was coming out on the water course track. He doesn't appear to be.
I've heard since from Kawasaki that the water cooler will be in action for the last 500 IMBA rounds being held up at Red Lake. So
yeah, it would have been a bit of a gamble, I think, for Phil Small trying out a brand new bike on the last round when it was so important.
I don't think it would have worked at all.
No.
I think he could have lost the championship on that. It just wouldn't have been right.
No. Any other comments? What are the sidecars? What do you think the British team's chances?
I think the sidecars are looking very good. It's interesting to note that the bulk of the British sidecars are on the little two-strokes compared to the Continentals on the big four-strokes. I think the Continentals get quite a shock at what the two-strokes can do tonight.
They're not used to them, are they? No. They're only just beginning to make inroads on the continent, aren't they?
Nigel Pinchbeck is looking very, very quick.
He was impressive in practice, wasn't he?
Cliffy Barton, who was second in the AMCA Championship, is also looking very fast indeed. And also the Hurst brothers, they made the trip down from Yorkshire today, and I expect them to be well up. They're on Nigel Pinchbeck's last year's championship winning outfit, and I think they'll be right up there as well.
Oh, good. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Okay,
Hope you have a nice meeting.
Thank you indeed. Bye.
Bye. Is John Eardley from North Staffs. Over there. Yeah. Any problems with the bike?
Yeah, I've had a little problem just when it came off.
It looks like we've got...
Yeah, we've had a bit of bent handlebars.
He's all right himself, he hasn't hurt himself.
Just a little hip problem, you know. He's landed on his hip fairly heavy.
What does he think of the track in general?
No, I think they both like the track, both lads.
No problems with the artificial jumps?
No, no problems. Only if the double jumps in. No problems.
Okay then. What do you think of the track then?
Oh, fantastic. As far as I know, I've seen it yet.
You haven't walked around yet?
No, these have, but I am.
Did you come today or did you camp last night?
Last night. Yeah, too big a journey come first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Did you go to the beer tent and the pig roast last night?
Yes, we had
Enjoy it?
Yes, very good.
No wonder all the pigs gone.
Any hangovers this morning?
No. We don't drink before racing. Oh no, we did have a drink, but not a lot.
You'll be out there no doubt when the racing starts,
very
so
good.
cheering them on. All right, all the best then.
Thank you.
Stephen Hillary, number 129, all the way down from Rossendale on a 4-stroke KTM.
Yep.
Any problems?
Yeah, I've just snapped my frame, snapped my oil pipe and wrecked my chain tensioner.
You've got a bit of work to do then before you get out for... You got second practice to come?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a start day, so you've got to get a move on.
I think so.
What do you think of the track anyway?
All right, a bit bumpy.
Yeah. And
not bumpy, you know.
Yeah. And the artificial jump, no problems?
All right, good.
Over the railway station.
Good takeoff.
Yeah. So what do you rate your chances today?
Well, I like to win all three, but I don't know. See how it goes.
Yeah, youngster seems happy enough. You've got the light switched on, look. Yeah. You wear all the batteries out. Your dad needs the batteries. Keep his energy for the race. All right, we wish you all the best anyway.
Right, thanks.
Change of machine there. I was right. Brian Tompkins, number 7 from Banbury, and he's now riding a Honda. Right, Brian, what do you think of the track?
Really good. Great, yeah.
No problems?
No.
Just maintenance before the racing starts.
Yeah, change the filter.
And artificial jump, no problems?
No, it's good. The track's really good. Not too dusty.
Are you used to this type of track?
Yeah, really.
Grassy and it's a bit bumpy out there now, isn't it? It's cutting up a bit.
Yeah.
What do you rate your chances then?
Just hope to pick a few points up.
You reckon you come in the first 5?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yes, he says. All right, well, we wish you all the best anyway.
Thanks
Have a good ride.
All right, thank you.
Number 3 then is Gary Evans from Shobden on a Suzuki. What do you think of the track then, Gary?
Very good. Demanding, natural circuit. Very good, very pleased. Better than some of the ones we've been on lately. Yeah.
No problems in practice?
No problems, no. It's all very good.
You hope to do well?
Hope so, yeah.
First 5 or better?
Better.
Better than that, you hope. Well, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Just one little point. When I was out there with the noise meter, you're one of those that's right on the limit.
Okay.
All right, 5, 3 and 41. So later on I might give you a static noise test.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
The Turvia Suzuki's number 5 and 3 and you'll right on the limit.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Number 55 is Malcolm Wicks from Rugby on the Kawasaki. You know where the rider is?
No, I'll find him.
Have you got problems or just maintenance?
Maintenance.
Maintenance.
What do you think of the track?
I think he liked it. He hit one big hole.
Yeah.
He's not here.
No problems with the artificial jump?
No. Very good.
You got your suspension set up for this track?
That's it. Very good.
All right. No. Well,
No,
he's not here, but we wish him well for us.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
51 is Peter Ware from the Reading Club. He's in the AMCA B team, and he's obviously got problems or adjustment to do. Lack of air in the tyre, Peter says. Rider there with no shirt on, kneeling at the back. What do you think of the track then, Peter? I know you've done a lot of work having to put it up.
Hard.
Dust doesn't seem a problem. The watering has paid off. Look at it.
I think the dust will be coming later on.
I think it will.
In the wood.
I've seen you have plenty of film anyway.
Yeah.
What do you rate your chances in the race?
Oh, just try.
Yeah, we can only just hear you. Say that again, please.
So we're just trying.
You're just going to try. All right, we'll leave you to it. We'll see you're pretty busy trying to fix that puncher. Yeah, you speak English then? Good.
I'm back.
Okay. What do you think of your husband's chances today then?
What you say?
What do you think of your husband's chances? Will he win?
Ja, komt erop hier. Moet ik spreken? Nee, niks te
Number 86 is Mike Seeley from Dursley on a Mako 500, 4-stroke, and he's obviously got a bit of trouble. Looks like a puncher. Let's see what he's got. You just a puncher?
I'm afraid, yes.
I'm afraid.
Terrible puncture.
What do you think of the track anyway?
Not too bad. Hope we don't get too dusty.
Put 33,000 gallons of water out there, so yeah. We're hoping it won't. And no other problems though, just a puncher?
Just a puncture at the moment. Yeah. So hopefully that's all I get.
Practice, you're out next, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
Enjoy.
yeah, alright, we'll wish you all the best anyway.
Thank you very much.
English, it's just a microphone.
Duits wel. Engels niet.
What number?
Number 32, 31.
Yeah, you're all Belgian.
Ja,
so.
ik België. Ja.
When did you stay here? Last night?
Ja.
You can. So you went over the beer tent?
No, hier.
You stayed here?
Nou, bij jullie dat couldn't
And
say.
you're all sober this morning, yeah?
Yeah.
No thick heads?
Good beer.
Yeah, still
A
pretty
little.
good.
Engelse niet drinken. België drinken. Bij jullie is zondag zo op televisie gestaan. Ik heb het laatste gezien, heb die door als ik maar opneem.
Anyway, wish you all
Thank you. Die vrouw van die feestballen. Die daar. Ja, zeg ik wat. Bergmans.
You spreekt Engels?
Ja, die spreekt Engels. En liep Engels, Engels. Helemaal broekstoel.
Can you speak English?
Oh, a little bit.
A little bit, right. It's Thomas Domin and Klaus Panker from West Germany on the Yamaha outfit. What do you think of the track?
Oh,
Bit bumpy.
very fast, but really killing.
And what do you think your chances are today?
Oh, what?
Do you think you'll win today?
This day? No,
Yeah. No?
no. 10 or 11.
10th or 11th, you think you'll finish? You the driver and you passenger?
Yep.
You in the
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
can.
you're the driver. Well, we wish you all the best anyway.
Ah,
No
okay, thank you.
problems?
Oh, a little bit. Our motor, a little defect in the first training.
Yeah.
Now it is okay.
Fixed it.
We must look.
Okay, go on, all the
Thank you.
best. It's a big two-stroke outfit actually. Event 2 then is the first of the 750 championships, and this will be the last round today. And as you know, Andy Breacher and Philip Small, only 2 points separating them, so it's all down to today's racing. Philip Small last year beat Kevin Reid from Crowborough on the very last day. Can he in fact do the same thing today? Right, they've all drawn their places. They're coming off the dummy grid now up to the metal start gate. Riders feeding on, filling up the places right across the board. The last 2 or 3 coming up now, and the starter's foot goes down, away they go. Nice clean start. And it looks like a Kawasaki rider in the lead, but what his number is from this vantage point we just can't see. We've got to wait just a moment for them to come round this turn into our view for the first time. And it's Phil Small, number 2, then Archer, then Kevin Reid, number 4, then Andy Breacher, 10, followed by Chris Small, number 10. So this is really going to develop into a really exciting race. Again, they kick the dust up first time round as they enter the woods for the first time. Bringing up the back end there on a Suzuki, number 38, Philip Wetron from Bournemouth, and number 20, Andrew Bilson from Rugby. So they must have had a bit of a tussle on the blind spot just after the start. But Philip Small is number 2 for the Havant Club, followed by Archer still, then Kevin Reid, then Andy Breacher's moved up to 4th. Climbing the hill opposite the PA point. Really winding it on now. Top gear work up towards the entrance to the circuit. Round, going down now, approaching the artificial jump. Up and over he goes. And he seems to be pulling out already from Archer and Kevin Reid. So Philip Small on his way then, number 2, sliding sideways there by the big stack of straw bales. Then comes Archer. Kevin Reid goes up alongside. Whoops. And he almost did an up-endo there. Put the clock on Philip Small as he goes through this time. Number 10's gone down. Got caught in the ropes there. Is Chris Small. As number 16 goes through, Phil Rowett. Then 26, Taryn Poutney. The camera's on Andy Breacher and Kevin Reid and Archer as they go away from the lap scoring point. Philip Small enters the woods, then Archer, then Kevin Reid, then Andy Breacher. Into the woods they go. Right, obviously we can see number 32, Tony Mattingly from Eastleigh. Appears to be okay. He's got back on his bike and restarted. Or is that 90? No, it's got to be 32. And 34 coming through. Dave Ponting from Andover. He's way down at the back of the field. But an awful lot of work to do to catch up and get amongst the points now. Now I've got the clock running on Philip Small. I'll let you know what his lap time is first time round. Over the artificial jump he goes, down into the soft area, turning left now on the far side of the haystack. Archer still in second place, then Kevin Reid and Breacher. 32, the man who was in trouble, goes below the PA point. That's Tony Mattingly. But the race leader now coming over on our right-hand side. Philip Small, number 2 for the Havant Club, the current second place man. He got time to look over his shoulder as he goes past, and his lap time is 1:47, would you believe, slower than the 250s. Then Archer goes through, then Andy Breacher up in the 3rd from Kevin Reid, number 4 in 4th place. 16 moves up, Phil Rowett. Then 6, Stephen Craig. Behind Stephen Craig is 26, Taryn Poutney. Then comes number 30, David White. Behind David White is Keith Sylvester, number 54. Then 60, Kevin Spencer. Then 40, 10, 44, 42, 64. Meanwhile, on the far side of the course, climbing the hill, They got the cameras on Philip Small, number 2. Over the artificial jump he goes. Down through the soft area. And see Pete Archer getting crossed up there as he went over the railway sleeper jump. Andy Breacher right with him. This time I'll put the clock on Andy Breacher. Remember, Philip Small was lapping in 1:47.41. And Philip Small now coming round to complete yet another lap. The back end kicks sideways. Then comes Pete Archer, number 1. Right on his heels, Andy Breacher, and the clock going on him now. Number 32 in trouble. Tony Mattingly at the bottom there. Pulls over the side of the track, lets the race leaders go through. Pete Archer then on the Armstrong. From Andy Breacher, number 8, on the Yamaha. Then Kevin Reid on the Suzuki, number 4. Number 16, Phil Rowett is the next rider to go through. And it looks like Steve Craig, number 6, right on his tail. Kevin Reid, number 4, right with him. And the clock going this time on Andy Breacher, 1:46.72, so he's not quite as quick as the leader. He's got a little bit of work to do. But these first 4 now stretching. All of them, would you believe, local riders. Philip Small, Pete Archer, Andy Breacher, Kevin Reid, Stephen Craig, number 6. Then comes 16, Phil Rowett from Dronfield. Behind Phil Rowett's number 30, David White. And out of the woods and up the hill, Philip Small goes on, and Andy Breacher moves up inside Pete Archer, and the back end really kicked out as he hit a bump right close to the rails there. So Andy Breacher moves up in the 2nd place, but Archer coming back at him. Will Archer outbrake him on the corner, going on the inside line? And Archer does indeed move back up in the 2nd place. So they both tried the lines on that corner, and each knows what the other's doing. And Andy Breacher coming through again on the inside line. But now he drops back and lets Archer go past the straw bales. And Andy Breacher moves up yet again on the inside and takes Archer once more for that 2nd place. And Phil Small sitting 40 to 45 yards in front. Andy Breacher now in 2nd place, that's number 8. Then comes Pete Archer, number 1 on the Armstrong. Then Kevin Reid on the Kawasaki, number 4. Then Stephen Craig now, number 6, moves up to consolidate that 5th place. So we got 5 local riders in the first 5 places. Andy Breacher comes by the haystack. Then comes Pete Archer, number 1 on the Armstrong. Right with him is Kevin Reid on the Kawasaki. But over on our right now, coming round to complete another lap, number 2, the race leader for the Havant Club, Philip Small. And the clock running once more on Andy Breacher. You can see Philip Small in his sights, and no rider in between him now, so let's just see what he can do. That's Andy Breacher going through past the lap scoring point, followed by number 1, Pete Archer and Kevin Reid. So Andy Breacher then in hot pursuit of Philip Small. Number 6, also completing another lap safely, Stephen Craig. He's followed by Phil Rowett from Dronfield. Into the woods they go, and we wait for Phil Small to come back out. 18 minutes plus 1 lap then. And out of the woods it's still Philip Small, turning, up he climbs, and it definitely looks as if Andy Breacher's making up some ground on him. Pete Archer still in, and Kevin Reid dropped it in 4th place. But he's okay, he's back on, restarted, away he goes. Doesn't even look if the machine stopped. He managed to pick it up and he's safely on his way again. The dust kicking up just a little bit despite the enormous amount of water the club have had put on here on Friday and Saturday. 34 going through there, Dave Ponting from Andover. He's followed by 38, Phil Wetron, and right behind him we've got the race leader, Philip Small, number 2. Putting the clock. Yes, that's him. That's the leader, number 2. And the clock on Andy Breacher then, 1:46. Right, Breacher goes through there and then on his way down to the woods. Archer still in 3rd place, number 1 on the Armstrong. Stephen Craig, number 6, in 4th place. Followed by number 4, Kevin Reid, on another Kawasaki for the Crowborough Club. 34 is a lap down, Dave Pontin for Andover. The race leaders going through down the right-hand side of the start gate and now entering the woods. And coming out of the woods opposite, the race leader with number 2. Andy Breacher definitely closing up on him now. They've opened up quite a gap. The 3rd place man hasn't yet exited from the woods. He's just about to do so now. Here comes Pete Archer, number 1, in 3rd place. Then Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid. There looks to be a gap of about 200 yards between the 2nd and 3rd place men. Right, back to the commentary. And Philip Small coming through once more, number 2. For the Havant Club on the big Kawasaki. He motors on below us, kicking up a large brick as he went through. Andy Breacher being urged on. But coming through once more. I've got the clock running on Philip Small. And the last lap flag goes out for Philip Small then this time round. And he did a lap in 1:47.24. Andy Breacher in 2nd place there. Got 1 lap to go. To see if he can make up. There's quite a large gap between him and Philip Small to do in 1 lap. Let's just see what he can do. Pete Archer then in 3rd place. Stephen Craig, number 6, in 4th. Then Kevin Reid in 5th place for the Crowborough Cup. Then they've opened up quite a large gap over Phil Rowett, number 16, from Dronfield. And it's still Philip Small as he exits from the woods. Number 2 from Andy Breacher, number 8. If I'm right, and then Philip Small maintains his lead to the checker flag, he will finish with a 1-point lead over Andy Breacher. He's only got 1 corner to go then. Philip Small, number 2, in the lead for the Havant Club on the big Kawasaki, coming up to take the checker flag, and he does so. What a brilliant ride. Andy Breacher then, well pleased with that, gives a thumbs up sign as he crosses the line to take 2nd place. Pete Archer in 3rd then, still being chased by Stephen Craig, number 6, for the Hillingdon Club. They finish in that order, Pete Archer and Stephen Craig. Then comes Kevin Reid, number 4, on another Kawasaki for the Crowborough Club. He also gives a smile as he passes. 18 minutes, he must be well pleased. Number 16 coming down. Event 3 is the first round of the sidecar Imba International. We've got 2 teams from England and teams from Holland, Germany, Belgium and Switzerland. Somebody, we can see one of the outfits down there. Start gate's gone, one of the outfits in trouble, hasn't been able to start. It looks as if they bump started it and away they go. They certainly kicked up the dust and the crowd running from the start area. And silly people crossing over the track. 33 then, Belgian, Richard Goffey. And number 3, Adrian van der Lees for Holland, going through very, very quickly in the lead. And while all those outfits are in the woods, I remind all those spectators who run across the track there in a blind position, you're ridiculous. Those outfits coming through there very fast. And stay behind the ropes while racing's in progress. While we're waiting for the first outfit to exit from the woods right opposite the PA point, and it's still Adrian van der Lees for Holland, outfit number 3. It'll be interesting to see as the race progresses how the 4 strokes get on against the 2 strokes. Oh, over the artificial jump there. And the lead change then. Oh, look at him slide sideways. What a beautiful sight. And back into lead goes number 3, would you believe, despite a tremendous effort by Richard Goffey and Philemon Paradines from Belgium. But back come the Belgians, really challenging hard as they go to the right of the commentary point. So 33 then, Richard Goffey for Belgium from number 3 for Holland. Then comes 41, Switzerland, Martin Wunderlich. 20 moved up well there. Norbert Janssen for West Germany. Then comes Pete Glazier from England A team, number 19. Then Holland, Theo van der Eyden, number 2, and number 3. Then 12, Nigel Pinchbeck, well placed on the MR2 show. So 3 AMCA shirts up there in the first 10. And that's virtually the whole field through. We've got one outfit over on their right-hand side that stop. I can't see the number from this point, but unfortunately they've got AMCA shirts on. So that's a bit of a blow to the English team. As A or B. 53 is the outfit. Paul Schofield, Michael Grant from, read their Berkshire clubmen. On the MR, looks as if they just stalled it and they've now restarted and away they go. Right, I've just been told Pete Glazier, number 19 for the England A team, moved up into 5th place. And indeed that's true. I can see opposite the KTM 2-stroke, sponsored by HMX Spares. They had trouble in practice this morning, couldn't find out what it was, and they swapped the whole motor down in the pits this morning in order to rectify it. Number 20 then moves up into the lead. For West Germany, Norbert Janssen on the Norton Wasp. But 33 pushing up yet again. Richard Goffey for Belgium. Having a regular little dice here in that 1st and 2nd place. Not settled by a long way. Number 3 in 3rd place, Adrian van der Lees for Holland. Then comes 41 for Switzerland, Martin Wunderlich. Then Pete Glazier, number 19 on the KTM. And the outfit's bucking and kicking all over the place on a bumpy circuit. But give them a cheer as they come through then. 33 goes 2 in the lead, then 20, then 41. Pete Glazier for England moves up into 4th place. Then Kevin Whiston gives a salute with his left leg. 31 getting pushed on there. Roland Piquet and Benny Klee for Belgium. Holland, number 2, Theo van der Eyden, changes his goggles. And out of the woods coming over opposite, it's outfit number 33 then for Belgium. Richard Goffey, Philemon Paradines on the SPD Yamaha. Then I believe it's West Germany in 2nd place, number 20, Norbert Janssen and Wilfried Gross. Pete Glazier and Kevin Weston up in the 4th place now on the KTM. And a large crowd gathering over there by the downhill jump made of railway sleepers, and it must look pretty spectacular watching two outfits go over there side by side. So it's 33, 20, 41 for Switzerland in 3rd place. That's Martin Wunderlich and Peter Oswald. Then comes number 19, Pete Glazier and Kevin Weston for the AMCA team in 4th place. Number 12 having trouble there for England. Nigel Pinchbeck, Martin Guilford with a wicked misfire. You can hear it even from this distance, and in fact they stopped. About 100 yards away, a really bad misfire on that Yamaha outfit. As the leader, 33, comes through then for Belgium. Richard Goffey and Philemon Paradines. And in 2nd place, number 41, Martin Wunderlich. And Pete Glazier moves up into 3rd with Kevin Weston in the chair. Number 3, Andrew van der Leest in 4th. Then comes 31, Roland Piquet, Benny Clee. Then 51, 20, 11 for England is Norman Brown and Ian Coulter. 43 and 2. 52 for England is Ian Hurst and Sean Hurst. 6:54 and 4. You got outfits with right and left hand chairs for the Continentals. We've got both sorts, and it's interesting to watch the antics on the corners. Outfit number 51, Norton B team, has moved up into 6th place. And Peter, I believe, is talking about having his last ride, his very last ride today. No sponsors and no passenger for the rest of the season or next season, so he's talking about retiring. It seems an awful shame of a lad that's good enough to be in 6th place amongst these Continentals. But coming round in the lead then once more, Richard Goffey for Belgium, outfit number 33. From 41, Martin Wunderlich from Switzerland. Then Pete Glazier for England in 3rd, number 19. Then 41 for Switzerland has got a right-hand chair. Pete Glazier got a left-hand chair with a braked sidecar wheel. So you should see some rather tight cornering from Pete Glazier on left-handers. Number 3 coming through next, Andrew van der Leest for Holland in 4th place. Then 51 coming through, Peter Weir and John Pritchard. Then 31 is Roland Piquet and Benny Clee from Belgium. Then 20, Norbert Janssen for West Germany. Then 11, Norman Brown and Ian Coulter. 36 and number 4, Imba Timmermans for Holland with Eric Verhagen in the chair. Round they go, Darren, on the downhill section on the approach to the entrance to the woods. 54 going through there. Ian Osbaldiston and Graham Dixon also for the England B team. Cliff Barton is in 7th position, number 17. You've got Lee Watkinson in the chair, the Yamaha outfit. But back to the race leader over on our right now, Richard Goffey for Belgium. Number 33, really tanking on there as he goes past the PA point. 41, not quite so quick for Switzerland, much steadier line. That's Martin Wunderlich. As the camera follows the race leader, number 33, Richard Goffey. Down he goes on the downhill section, 2 bends before he enters the woods. There's Pete Glazier for the England A team, number 19, with Kevin Weston in the chair, comes up with a 3rd place. And Pete Weir, 51, is moved up into 4th. Then 3 is Andrew van der Leest for Holland in 5th. Oh, and an outfit in trouble in front of us, really chucking the smoke down. 54, and it's an England outfit. Ian Osbaldiston on the Yamaha. And he's really dropping some smoke. As he shuts off and opens up again, great clouds of smoke leave the exhaust. He's running downhill now, so as he opens the throttle, you can see what I mean. He's leaving a smoke trail behind him. So it looks like piston ring trouble there, or possibly a broken valve spring, or some such trouble is sucking smoke into the bore. 24 going through below us is Gunther Kurzer and Werner Hussinger for West Germany. '53, Paul Schofield and Michael Grant for the Berkshire Club. They're coming through just below the... as the race leaders follow them. 33 then, still Richard Goffey for Belgium, but being caught now by Martin Wunderlich for Switzerland in second place, number 41. I said on the last lap he was going slower, but obviously not, because he's made up a lot of ground on Richard Goffey. 53 pulls over Paul Schofield, lets the race leaders go through to take the checker flag. Pete Glazier for England finishes in third. Coming riders. Pete Glazier on the two-stroke, followed by 51, Peter Weir for the Reading Club. England B team in fourth, then 3, Adrian van der Leest for Holland in fifth. Event 4 is a 4-stroke round, and 8 drops and away they go. Somebody was left on the line there. But John Pullman, 177 for Shepparton Club, very well placed there. And 129 it is, it comes over the hill, Stephen Hillary. Then 163, then 177, John Pullman. Stephen Luff, 167, also very well placed there for the Surrey and Sussex car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8th place for Stephen Luff. Let's see if he can make up a bit of ground as the race progresses. Again, 18 minutes plus 1 lap for these 4 strokes. Just about to exit from the woods then. Right hand dab for the leading rider as he comes through there. Stephen Hillary from Rossendale in 600 KTM. John Pullman still sitting there in third place, 177 for the Shepparton Club. On another KTM. On the fastest part of the circuit now, coming down from the climb at the back and approaching. The leader's just gone over the artificial jump. John Pullman clears it now. Still looks like 129 in the lead. Indeed it is, and I think it's 163 in second place. That's John Early with 111 points from North Staff Club on a 500 Armstrong. So obviously a rider to watch, got a bit of form, probably sitting there biding his time. John Pullman still in third. 136 in fourth place is Alan Hambridge from the Standard Club. Then comes 50, Glenn Rebel from Salisbury. Then 60, Alan Hardy from Rothwell. Then 91, and 3 is Carl Hanley. 91 is Richard Toghill. 167, Stephen Luff. They've got it all to do. There's number 7 coming through. 1, 2, 3, 61, 69, 77, 43 there is Bob Miles. 67, 135 and 18 is Mark Rose from the Ross-on-Wye Club. All the race leaders gone behind the shrubbery up in the wooded section out of our sight temporarily. But very shortly they will reappear. Let's see if it's 163 John Eardley or 129 Steve Hillary. And it's 163, John Eardley has taken over the lead. On the 500 Armstrong from the KTM. But John Pullman still sitting there in third place, 177 for the Shepparton Club. And the sound of the four-strokes really reverberates off the hillside as these lads wind up the throttles, pulling up the hill right opposite the PA point. Coming down to the haystack now, the race leader then, 163, John Eardley from the North Stats Club on a 500 Armstrong with already 111 points tucked under his belt towards the championship. He got time to glance over his right shoulder and see the others coming up on the track in the opposite direction. 129 still in second place then, Stephen Hillary from Rossendale. Then John Pullman, 177 being challenged now for that third place by 136 Alan Hambridge. Then come number 50, Glenn Remmel from Salisbury. Then 91, Richard Toghill from Marshfield. Number 3, Carl Hanley from Tameside. And somebody's dropped it down the bottom. It's 50, Glenn Remmel. But he's okay on his feet and trying to restart. Alan Hardy from Rockwell is rider number 60. 1, 2, 3 going through. Stephen Blake from Avon. Then 7, Richard Paul from Chard. 77, Alan Smith from Ewley. Out of the woods opposite, the race leader. And he looks to be further increasing his lead over the second place man as he goes up the climb. The dust not kicking up quite so much now. So John Pullman now coming under threat from Richard Toghill, number 91. Oh, and Richard Toghill caught that bump, which is on the uphill stretch opposite, right close to the post. It's quite a nasty bump, and if you watch the back end of the bikes, it really kicks out sideways. .163 meanwhile, the race leader, crossing over in front of us, coming round to the PA point once more to complete another lap. Right, the Armstrong rider then, John Early, number 163. Turning left, coming up to the lap scoring point once more to safely complete another lap. 129 really getting a shake on there in hot pursuit. Stephen Hillary from Rossendale. Then 136, Alan Hambridge from Standard in third. John Pullman and Richard Toghill and Carl Hanley now. You could separate the lot with a handkerchief. All three of them, only about 5 machines lengths separate all 3 riders. And Stephen Luff, number 167, is making up ground on all 3 of them. Oh, and the second place man getting a bit crossed up there as he came out of the wooded section. And the race leader is really pulling away now. John Early stamping his authority on that number 1 position. The man with 111 points under his belt. Probably 250 yards or more in the lead now from second place man number 129, Stephen Hillary from Rossendale. In third place, and he appears to be catching Alan Hambridge, number 136, and he's also got 82 points in this 4-stroke championship. That's virtually the first 3 places settled, but if you watch for the 4th place, Richard Toghill now moves up with Carl Hanley behind him, and John Pullman, 177, has gone back 2 more places, and he's got Stephen Luff right with him. Right, coming round in second in with the cameras, number 129, Stephen Hillary from Rossendale on the big KTM. Then the Armstrong of 136, Alan Hambridge from the Standard Club. Behind him, Richard Toghill, number 91, on the 600 Cotton from the Marshfield Club. Then Carl Hanley on the 600 Yamaha from Tameside. Dropping back a little bit on that last lap, John Pullman from Shepparton on the 600 KTM. And catching him is Stephen Luff, number 167, on the 500 KTM of the Surrey and Sussex Club. Back then with the camera and the race leader as he climbs the highest part of the course, opposite the camera point and the PA point, 163, John Eardley for the North Stats Club. And there's a right battle going on for the second place now. As you can see, 136 Alan Hambridge has moved up and taken over the second spot from 129 Stephen Hillary. And as they go downhill over the artificial jump, or the man-made jump, you can see Alan Hambridge, having taken over the second spot now, is pulling away in that second place. "18 minutes plus 1 lap this race." As the race leader comes through once more, safely completing another lap, 163 then. Putting out a steady left leg as he turns to come up to the lap scoring point. Alan Hambridge now in second from Stephen Hillary, number 129. Kicking up the dust on the berm as they turn. Around the right-hander on the downhill drop towards the wooded section. Coming round in 4th place, Richard Toghill from Marshfield on the 600 cotton, number 91. Still John Pullman. And Stephen Luff, 167, almost got his front wheel chopped off by Carl Haley there, number 3. As he got caught in the soft berm just before the finish. Right, the race leader then with a yellow helmet, number 163, John Eardley for the North Stats Club. And really pulling out the stops in 2nd place, Alan Hambridge, number 136. I don't know how much time is left, but I don't know whether Alan Hambridge can catch the leader. I'll keep an eye on the timekeeper as they come round this time. And looking opposite, number 7 came to a stop, but he's restarted. Richard Fall from Chard. As Alan Hambridge in 2nd place comes round, trying to make up ground on the race leader. And indeed, the last lap flag is going out this time. So 163 takes the last lap flag. Alan Hambridge knows he's got 1 lap to go if he wants to take over the lead. Round he goes, starting his last lap. 129 in 3rd place there, Stephen Hillary from Rossendale. Still Richard Toghill in 4th place, that's number 91 from the Marshfield Club. But he daren't relax as Carl Hanley from Tameside is right with him. Then comes John Pullman, number 177 for Shepparton. And moving up on John Pullman is Mark Starkey, number 121. Then comes 167 Stephen Luff. Behind Stephen Luff, 77 Alan Smith. And out of the woods and climbing the hill opposite the PA point, the race leader. Last time he goes up that hill on the fastest part of the course now, really winding it up in top gear. Braking for the right-hand turn, and then downhill he goes over the artificial jump. Safely over the jump, down through the soft area with a left turn to go. Coming up towards the haystack now, catching the back markers and tail enders. Lapping Richard Paul, number 7. Alan Hambridge still there, number 136, and he's catching him fast, but only about 600-700 yards before the checkered flag. But he's making up ground rapidly on the race leader. The yellow flag out as the riders stop as they approach, safely past him. So 163 then, the race leader goes through. John Eardley and Alan Hambridge really on his tail now. Oh, and he makes a challenge and he takes him on the last bend. Alan Hambridge takes the lead. And the checkered flag on the very last corner. 136 in from 163. It didn't look possible, but he did it on the very last corner. Cut on the inside. 129 then. In 3rd place, Steve Hillary from Rossendale. Event 5 is the 2nd 250 championship race today. And after the first race, it's a real battle for the points with Gary Evans. Keith Rew's dropped some riding a new bike. He obviously hasn't settled down and is everything to go for in this particular race. Right, still looks like that number 41 then in the lead. Tim Price from Kinver. 5, Julian Dobb, I can see on the back of his race shirt, also very well placed. The field's stretching out already, as you can see. I'll put the clock on these riders and confirm whether or not they are indeed lapping quicker than the 750s, which they did earlier this morning. Right, 15 in 2nd place, Nick Selwyn. Then 5, Julian Dobb. Then 3, Gary Evans. Behind Gary Evans is Mark Townsend, number 23, as the clock's running on the race leader, number 41. Number 7 and 37 bring up the next points position. Brian Tompkins and Keith Ree. Behind Keith Ree, it's 97, Paul Hudson. Then comes 19, Martin Appleyard. 83 is Mark Ware. 27, Rob Hindle. 55, Malcolm Witts. 57, Ian Salvage. 85, Mark Allman. 11 is John Reynolds. 31 is Wayne Ellis. 81 going through at the back there, Sean Hales. And I've got the clock running on number 41, Tim Price from the Kinver Club on the 250 Honda. When he comes through next time, I'll let you know exactly what he was lapping. Remember, the 750s were lapping in 1:45. Right, approaching the haystack once more, the race leader, and it's not settled by any means. The first 5 are all together. 41 in the lead, Tim Price. Then 15, Nick Selwyn. Then 5 and 3 side by side, Julian Dobb and Gary Evans. Then comes 23, Mark Townsend. Then number 7, Brian Tompkins. Then 37, Keith Ree. And then 97, Paul Hudson. And coming down now, the clock stops now, 1:46.39, so a shade slower than the 750s in this particular race. 41 goes through then, from 15, 3, 5, 23, 7 and 37, then 97 and 19. 55 is Malcolm Witts from Rugby. 83 and 27, that's Mark Ware and Robert Hindle. Then 57, Ian Salvage. Number 9 is Barry Shackles. The leaders disappeared into the woods once more. Number 61, Stalls on the corner right below us. That's Tidget Humphreys from the Druids Club. He's restarted and away he goes. As Sean Hales and 61 take advantage. Oh, Sean Hales rather did, that was number 81. Right, 41 then, really putting on the pressure. Piling on the coals, they say, and increasing his lead over second place man. Tim Price then for the Climber Club, really stretching out there. Making this Honda really perform and fly. 15, Nick Selwyn, the Mako in second place from the Stroud Club. Right, number 23 seems to have exhaust trouble, Mark Townsend from Lancaster. Right, 41 goes through the PA point. Then 15, 3, 5, that's Gary Evans, Julian Dahl. Then comes 23 with a noisy exhaust, Mark Townsend, followed by Brian Tompkins, number 7. Then 97. And 19, 55, then Keith Ree, who's dropped back 2 or 3 places. There's obviously something wrong there. He lapped 1:57 that last lap, so he must have come to grief somewhere. The race format seems to be settling into a pattern now as 41 comes through once more. Just passing haystack from second place man Nick Selwyn, number 15. Then Gary Evans, number 3 from Julian Dobb, number 5. 23, the man with exhaust trouble, dropping back now as obviously his performance of that bike suffering. Number 7 hitting a nasty bump there, throwing him up in the air. Right, the clock running this time on Tim Price, number 41. As he safely completes another lap. Tim Price in for the Kinver Club on that sweet sounding Honda. From number 15, Nick Selwyn, but Nick Selwyn then relaxed one little bit because right on his tail is Gary Evans, number 3, from the Shobden Club. And right behind Gary Evans is Julian Dobbs, number 5, for the Warsop Club. 55 is Malcolm Witts from Rugby. 2 riders coming round now. 83, Mark Ware, local lad. Then John Reynolds. There's the faster rider on the very fast stretch opposite. And it's still number 3 right alongside him. Up in they go. He's got the inside line, so up in the second place goes Gary Evans, number 3. From Nick Selwyn, number 15. Now, can Gary Evans catch the leader? Tim Price, number 41. Right, plenty of time to go then. There's number 3 being urged on to make up ground on Tim Price, number 41. Still plenty of time to go, no sign of the last lap flag yet. Number 3 goes through then 5, so 5, Julian Dobbs has moved up as well, over number 15, Nick Selwyn. We've got a whole gaggle of riders coming through, led by number 85, Mark Gorman from Corby. 67 follows him, Philip Bishop from Avon, then Sean Hales, number 81. Followed by Mark Ware, 83, and going round on the outside, Andrew Remner, number 21. Whoops. And the rider that dropped it without getting run over, right on the apex of the bend, Mark Ware pulling over, was number 21, Andrew Remner. Out of the woods once more then, really making the back end kick out as he lays on the power, number 41, Tim Price. Leader approaches the commentary point once more. We've got the clock running on this time. I'll tell you what his lap times are, knowing full well that Gary Evans is chasing hard. Julian Dobbs still in 3rd, number 5. And in 4th place is number 15, Nick Selwyn. And the lap time was quite slow, really, 1:48.39. And the last lap flag goes out this time for Tim Price, number 41. So Gary Evans knows he's got it all to do in one lap. Julian Dobbs comes through in 3rd place, that's number 5. Whoops, and almost over the handlebars there, Nick Selwyn, number 15. 9, Barry Shackles for the Avon Club. Keith Free coming through next, 37 for Stratford. And right behind him, Malcolm Witts for Rugby on the Kawasaki. This their last lap then, and we keep all eyes on number 41 and number 3. And I think you'll find that he comes down past the haystack once more. He's got time to look over his left shoulder. 41 is well aware of where number 3 is, and he really is pushing on now. Almost guaranteed to take the checker flag with a safety margin of about 150 yards over Gary Evans, number 3, who you can see now on his right-hand side as he comes up towards the commentary point. Only 1 man to go. The very last corner, and he comes up now. Number 41, looking over his shoulder once more. Takes the checker flag then, and he's well pleased as he gives a clenched fist salute. 41, Tim Price for the Kinver Club. Gary Evans finishing now in 2nd place. For Shobden on the Suzuki. And Julian Dobb, number 5, finishing in 3rd. 15 finishes in 4th place. That's Nick Selwood for Stroud. And 23 with his sick engine, Mark Townsend. Right, 7:50, second race of the day underway. Away they go and disappear to the right-hand side. We can see 1 or 2 riders have come off, looking a bit disgruntled and picking themselves up. Number 60 it is then, Kevin Spencer from Philip Small and Andy Breacher, number 8 in 3rd. Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid again in 4th and 5th place as they go round the left-hand bend on the downhill descent on the approach to the entrance to the woods. Number 1, Pete Archer, right at the back of the field. He's got a lot of work to do to make up ground. And number 70 there was the other man involved, was Richard White from Stratford. Oh, just turn around. What happened to Philip Small then on the section through the woods? He was in the lead, and it certainly is Andy Breacher, number 8, in the lead at the moment. So somewhere in that wooded section, Pip Small's gone missing. So Andy Breacher, no, he's in 2nd place, I beg your pardon, and he's challenging Andy Breacher right at this very moment, and in fact moves back into the lead. From number 60 in 3rd, Kevin Spencer from the Tamworth Club. Then comes Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid. So it's Philip Small again, number 2 for the Havant Club from Andy Breacher, number 8 for Eastleigh. Got it all to do. Number 60 in 3rd place, Kevin Spencer. Then Stephen Craig, number 6 for Hillingdon in 4th place. Then Kevin Reid for Crowborough in 5th. Then come number 26, Tyrone Pountney for Shrewsbury. Then 10 is Chris Small for Havant. 54, Keith Sylvester for Ossett. 16, Phil Rowett for Dronfield. 14, Chris Taylor. 42, Nick Hargrave. Then the whole pack go chasing through. Oh, we move back over and wait for the leaders to come out of the woods once more as the dust settles after that initial lap. And it's Philip Small, number 2 from Andy Breacher, as they exit from the woods. So number 60, Kevin Spencer from Tamworth, still in 3rd, with Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid right there with him on the other 2 Kawasaki's. Times will be interesting. I'll put the clock on the leaders as they come through. So Philip Smalding stretching his lead over Andy Breacher at the moment to about 100 yards. Put the clock on him now. Clock is running as Andy Breacher comes through in 2nd place. Then Kevin Spencer seems to be making up ground on him. That's number 60 for Tamworth. Then Stephen Craig for Hillingdon in 4th, followed by Kevin Reid for Crowborough in 5th. Then 26, Tyrone Pountney. Then 10 is Chris Small for the Havant Club, brother of Pip. Then 54 is Keith Sylvester. Then 16 is Phil Rowett. Behind Phil Rowett, 26, Tyrone Pountney. Then comes 44, Ian Davis. 42, Nick Hargrave. 30 is David White. And 14, Chris Taylor. 80 is James Harris from Derby. And number 1, just passing slowly beneath the commentary point, Pete Archer, number 1 for the Alton Club. Obviously got troubles there. Meanwhile, back with the race leaders, Pip Spaulding coming down by the haystack. Still Andy Breacher in second, followed by Kevin Spencer, number 60 in third. Then Stephen Craig in fourth place, number 6 for Hillingdon, followed by Kevin Reid for Crowborough in fifth. Guys, that's the race, 1:48.75. Not a particularly quick lap, would you believe? Andy Breacher then, and right with him Kevin Spencer in third. And Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid seem to be moving up. So all four disputing the points behind the leader. Andy Breacher still got time to look over his shoulder as he goes past the lap scoring van on the right-hand bend, would you believe? Even travelling at these sort of speeds, they're well aware of what's happening around them. And he looked back to see who was chasing riders well. Oh, 32 got bogged down and stalled it then, and he's really mad with himself. That's Tony Mattingly from EC, and he's really kicking that KTM. He's got going again, but that's one way of working up a wild, I suppose. Now he's calmed down a little bit and settling himself down. He lost some valuable places there, makes more work to do to catch it all up again. 66 is David Fisher from North Staffs. And meanwhile, just cresting the artificial jump opposite the PA point, the race leader, number 2 for the Havilland Club, Philip Small on the big Kawasaki, sponsored by the family business Small World Motorcycles at Waterlooville. Andy Breacher on the Mott Yamaha in second place, number 8 for the Eastleigh Club. Still being chased by Kevin Spencer on the big Honda from the Tamworth Club. Then comes Stephen Craig and Kevin Reid, both on Small World Kawasaki's in 4th and 5th place. And brother Chris bringing up 6th place on yet another Kawasaki. And you saw Pip Small then, number 2, as he turned right after the lap scoring man, just look over his shoulder to see where Andy Breacher was, and you can no doubt he will keep an eye on him through the rest of the race. So somebody's gone over the berm at the corner just below the commentary point. That was number 30, Save the Engine, he's kept it running, David White from Oldham. Back over the berm he comes, rejoins the race, and on he goes, perfectly okay. Pip Small then, chased by Andy Breacher, then Kevin Spencer, then Stephen Craig, and then number 4, Kevin Reid. Then a bit of a grab, and Chris Small, number 10. Then 44. Lap times 1:48 plus split seconds. And the race leader comes down towards this point once more. Number 2 then was a cautionary left foot out on the loose earth just this side of the haystack. Andy Breacher appears to be making up a bit of ground now as the race progresses. Pulling away from Kevin Spencer, who did manage to get up with him, and Stephen Craig in turn is making up ground on Kevin Spencer. Then Kevin Reid, number 4 for Crowborough, being urged on to catch up with the race leader. Number 6, Stephen Craig for the Club, looking very smooth as he comes down the jumps and the rough bit just below the commentary point. Number 60 there, Kevin Spencer, right on the heels of Andy Breacher, number 8. On the downhill section away from the lap scoring van. Turning left now, just before they turn to go into the woods. 10 is 10 rather is Chris Small for the Havant Club, brother of the leader, sitting here and I believe in about 6th place. Out of the woods once more, Pip Small then Andy Breacher, then Kevin Spencer, and number 6 Stephen Craig definitely making up ground there. Kevin Reid dropping back a bit, and the other small brother, Chris, number 10, seems to be making up a bit of ground on Kevin Reid. The track getting quite bumpy over there, and somebody with exhaust trouble behind Chris Small. And Kevin Reid, as we know, has got a little bit of knee trouble, and it plays him up, especially when the track is a bit hard and bumpy like it is today. And as you can see, Chris Small there challenging after going down a man-made jump, and in fact he's got past Kevin Reid on that fast downhill section. So Chris Small moves up one in front of Kevin Reid, number 4 from the Crowborough Club. Right, Andy Breacher really being urged on now. And up into 3rd place goes Stephen Craig, number 6 for Hillingdon, having got past Kevin Spencer, number 60. And the man making all the noise is number 44, Ian Davis from Husky for Marshfield. He looks he's blown the rear end out of his silencer. Indeed he has. As he goes past me, I can see there's no back end in the silencer at all. 16 goes through his Phil Rowett, followed by 40. Just gone along the fastest part of the course, turning right at the entrance to the course. Going down now over the man-made jump right at this moment. He lands down through the soft area, turning left on the approach to the haystack. 18 minutes plus 1 lap this race then. And Peter Archer still circulating, would you believe? I haven't noticed him the last couple of laps, but he's obviously got troubles. And he gave the signal that time. I saw him nod, and he's going back to the pits on the pit exit. Coming round then this time, Pip Small, number 2, safely completing yet another lap. Andy Breacher then in 2nd place, number 8. And the last lap flag goes out for number 2, and he's lapping 1:49 that time. So Andy Breacher knows he's got 1 lap to go, and right with him is Stephen Craig from the Hillingdon Club, number 6 on the other Kawasaki. Then comes Kevin Spencer looking over his shoulder for the Tamworth Club to see where number 54 was, Keith Sylvester from the Ossett Club. Number 10 is Chris Small for Havant. And right opposite on the last climb up the hill, Stephen Craig Hillingdon making an attempt to catch Andy Breacher in 2nd spot. But Andy Breacher turns up the wick and seems to increase the gap slightly as they turn now on the descent over the man-made jump. Philip Small they can see in front, the pair of them, but Andy Breacher seems to have closed up on Philip Small and possibly pulled away a bit from Stephen Craig. Philip Small daren't relax one little bit, 1 misgear change, 1 slip, and they're both with him. 18 minutes, remember, plus 1 lap, and they're this close at the end of that time. And look at Stephen Craig's got right up with Andy Breacher again. So Philip Small, will he hold on? 1 more corner to go. Andy Breacher pushing on, and Stephen Craig right with him. A little slip and it'll change. Right, Philip Small puts his left hand up, acknowledges the number 1 spot. Andy Breacher in 2nd. Stephen Craig trying his best to make it on the line, but not quite. Kevin Spencer finishes in 4th for the Tamworth Club. That's number 60. Right, event 7 is the 2nd of the Imba sidecar round. And after the first round this morning, number 33 for Belgium did particularly well. And 32 also had a particularly good ride, but so did Pete Glazier from the British team, and Cliff Barton also went very, very well. Let's hope they can do the same again in the second round.
Outfit number 32 then, who stole the early lead, Carl Bergmans and Paul Buchler's Belgium team on their Yamaha. So German riders on an all-English machine then in second place. And certainly that battle there between third and fourth place men. Looks to me like it could be Peter Weir. Leader coming up towards us then, number 32, Carl Bergmans, Paul Buchler's. Number 20, 41, third place, being Martin Wunderly and Peter Oswald. British interest line then in sixth place, Peter Weir, number 51, passenger by John Pritchard at the moment. He is holding sixth place. Norman Brown then, the other English rider, number 11, holding 7th place. Up at the commentary point, number 32, completes his first lap. Belgian rider then, Carl Bergmans and Paul Buchler's. And actually in 4th place, number 17, Cliff Barton. 5th place then, Cliff Barton. 6th place, Peter Weir. And 7th place, Norman Brown. Paul Schofield trying harder this time, just passing us in the pack. And this time, unfortunately, Peter Glazier and Kevin Weston up the back of the field, obviously not having such a good race this time. So British interest resting at the moment in 5th place, Cliff Barton. Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins then riding a Yamaha Wasp, present holding 5th place. But the man certainly dominating this race at the front of the field, number 32, Carl Bergmans and Paul Buchler's from Belgium. Second place then at the moment, number 20, Norbert Jensen and Wilfred Grosps, riding a Norton Wasp. Certainly the dust now flying from these high-powered machines, which will be causing a lot of difficulty then for the men further back down the field. This man, number 32, no problems, well out in front. Number 20 then, Norbert Jensen and Wilfred Gross in second place. Certainly that no Norton outfit. Cliff Barton, and there's certainly a lot of pushing and shoving, and Cliff Barton takes that position. Moving up into 4th place then for the British team, Cliff Barton. Pete Weir still in 6th, and the Pinchbacks now holding 7th place. Number 12 then, Nigel Pinchback Martin Guildford, holding 7th place. Come on now, you crowd out on these bends. I want to see you shouting for the 3rd place man, Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins. They've moved into 3rd place, riding their small 500cc single cylinder 2-stroke machine, holding on against the might of the foreigners. Certainly British hopes still alive here and well today. Cliff was telling me in the paddock earlier on that he'd had a poor start in the previous race, but he's certainly made up for it in this one, holding third position against the best of Europe. In fifth place, Norman Brown then. So English hopes certainly alive. Peter Weir moving into sixth place. So we have a third, a fifth and a sixth for the British boys. Number 17 then in third place. Cliff Barton goes through. Peter Weir has dropped a few places. Norman Brown in the fifth place. Peter Weir certainly trying though. Tremendous scrap between him and number 33, Richard Goffey and Philman Pardens from the Belgian team. Certainly up here by the commentary point. Right-hand chairs of the foreign outfits having trouble on this right-hand bend. British crews much quicker through this bend. Out on the far side of the track then, the race leader, number 32, Carl Bergmans and Paul Bucklers. Fantastic Belgian riders, certainly hauling out a massive lead now over the second place man. And Cliff Barton, number 17, was holding on to that third place. Number 11 then, also the AMCA A team, Norman Brown and Ian Coulter, holding fourth position. A tremendous battle for fifth and sixth place between number 33 and 51. 33 Richard Goffey and Philman Pardens from the Belgian team. 51 Peter Weir and John Pritchard. And Cliff Barton is definitely closing now on number 20, right up on the back of him. Come on the crowd, let's hear a bit of cheering for this English lad. Riding his Yamaha Wasp, riding his heart out. Cliff Barton, who finished second in the AMCA Championships, has certainly shown this year that 500 single-cylinder two-stroke machines can match the power of these big 1000 Yamahas. As they come out of the wood then, Cliff Barton fighting for England, number 17, scrapping with the West German crew. Certainly Norbert Janssen and Wilfred Gross then having slightly more power down the back. And they open up a gap then from number 17, Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins. But it's the tighter bends that Cliff closes right up again. Obviously able to brake much later on the much lighter machine. And I expect to see a position change there very soon, because Cliff challenging hard for that second place. Give him a shout then, he's moving up on number 20 and he goes through in a second place. Fantastic riding from Cliff Barton then. AMCA number 2 championship rider into second place. And we're not happy with second place from Cliff, so come on, cheer him on. We want to see a first place for a British crew. And he's certainly going to try for it, because he is definitely closing in on number 32. Carl Bergmans and Paul Bucklers, and a tremendous cheer goes up from the crowd. Many of the sidecar lads here cheering Cliff on. Number 20 then relegated to third. To Theo van der Enden and Perry van Gloven from the Dutch team. Fourth place, Norman Brown, number 11, into fifth place. 33, Richard Goffey then, Thomas Scotch and Fritz Krashner. Peter Weir now in 8th place, but he looks to be touring. Peter Weir then, and a retirer. Unfortunately, problems for Peter Weir. Passes me at the commentary point. Peter, who previously had a 3rd place, even with a broken grab rail in the first race, obviously not getting away to such a good start in that race. Number 12, then Nigel Pinchback and Martin Guilford cart towards me at the commentary point, but alas, not having such a favourable day. Ignition problems in the first race. And perhaps their outfit not quite up to song at the moment. But the race leader, number 32, under pressure from number 17, Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins, on their 500cc single-cylinder Yamaha machine, housed in a Wasp chassis, certainly showing that 2-strokes are here now amongst sidecar racers. And Cliff Barton is right up behind number 32 then. Let's give him a big cheer. He's certainly trying, and he challenges for the lead. He tries to take him on the inside, but snapped out, and they clash. The passenger receiving some heavy treatment in the back. This then a real race developing for first place. Carl Bergmans and Paul Bucklers fight off the challenge then from Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins. Can they hold out that small 2-stroke machine? He powers on now into the woods and over the jump. Certainly on the faster parts of the track, he has the advantage. Who will emerge from the woods first? It's Carl Bergmans, but Cliff Barton right on his tail. Certainly the race of his life here at this international meeting today. Certainly the Belgian having that power advantage up over the back. Powers on now, and Cliff has to chew his dust. Opens up a gap, but the big 1000cc machine brakes earlier, and Cliff Barton closes right up behind him again. And moves up on his own, takes the lead. Cliff Barton and Lee Watkins then take the lead. The Belgian fights back and passes him again over the jump. Tension then right up. The Belgian tips the chair up in the air, but Cliff's certainly not going to have none of it. He's going to come back at him. Powers on again as they come up towards the big right-hand bend. Cliff taking a different line. Come on, you people, let's hear a big cheer for him. This ends sidecar racing at its best. The lead being disputed now. Cliff has to swallow the dust from the big 1000 Yamaha machine. But certainly now, moving in this left-hand bend up to the commentary point. Cliff powers on and tries again. So a race win then for number 32, Carl Bergmans. But a fantastic battle by Cliff Barton. In 3rd place then, number 2, Theo van der Eyden from the Dutch team. 4th place man then, number 20. Followed by Norman Brown and Ian Coulter.
Right, event 8 is the second 4-stroke ride. And our local lads haven't done quite so well. It's been cleaned up by Alan Hambridge and John Erdley. But let's hope the local boys can do better in this second ride. One or two left, just to come up to the gate. Any second now. You can hear the revs rise yourself. And the pedal goes and away they go. And Alan Hambridge looks as if he's in second place as they disappear from our view temporarily on the right-hand bend at the end of this straight. Back they come into sight. 162 is Neil Erdley. Looks like the brother of John. Then Alan Hambridge. Then the whole pack. 67 and 123 there. Didn't get a very good start. They're right at the back of the field. 123, Stephen Blake. And he's so away we go on the opposite side of the course, pulling hard up the hill for the first time in this particular race. Alan Hembridge taking the inside line and indeed taking the first spot as they really wind the throttle up on the fastest part of the circuit, going back up towards the bend at the circuit entrance. Round they come now on the drop down towards the artificial jump, over and down they go. Alan Hembridge it is then, 136 for the Standard Club. Coming round past Haystack for the first time, 162 Neil Eardley for North Staffs, then 121 Mark Starkey, then number 3 Carl Hanley. John Pullman's up there, so's Dave Toghill, well placed. Right, we got the clock running on 136 this time, 129 in 4th place, Steve Hillary, then number 3 Carl Hanley, then John Pullman, then Dave Toghill. And then 163 really making the back end kick out, John Eardley. Behind John Eardley, 69 is Michael Lewis on the Armstrong from Dursley, followed by 43 Bob Mott. Behind Bob Mott, 192 Robert Langford from the North Staffs Club, then 168 Alan Dale, 60 Alan Hardy, then 67 86 number 7 is Richard Paul. And a lot of the fancied runners are not up there in the points at the moment. Stephen Luff for the Surrey and Sussex Club, number 167, and 61 is Philip Brown from Gloucester. Both not looking very happy with either their bikes or whatever at the moment. Meanwhile, opposite, the race leader comes down once more. 136 then. Alan Hembridge for Standard on the big Armstrong 500. Then 162 Neil Eardley. Times 153. Quite slow in comparison to the other lads. 121 in 3rd place is Mark Starkey, followed by Carl Hanley, number 3. Then comes 129 Steve Hillary, then 91 Richard Toghill, 163 John Eardley, 177 John Pullman. Behind John Pullman, 69 Michael Lewis, then 43 Bob Mott. Then comes 192 Robert Longford. The leader then out of the woods and pulling out a bit of a lead now. 40-50 yards over the 2nd place man as he pulls uphill and then turns right on the long undulating far section of the course. He really opened the gap there. Turning right now, dropping down towards the man-made jump. Over he goes, quite comfortable. Turning left now on his approach towards the caravans and the haystack. Bit of a side slip there on the loose. Just a touch too much throttle and it slips away from him. Then relax one little bit. 162 Neil Eardley still in 2nd place. Third place man is 121 Mark Starkey from Rossendale, still being chased by Carl Hanley from Tameside, number 3 on the Yamaha 600. He comes around the berm, just approaching the lap scoring van to complete yet another lap, and then 3 following riders 129, 163 and 91. Out of the woods once more. Just going to start the uphill climb away from the straw bales. The race leaders and the two lads battling for second and third place. Over and down over the artificial jump, turning left behind the caravans. Once again, coming past below the commentary point. '61 goes by on our left. That's Philip Brown on a JBS from Gloucester. He's followed by Mark Groves, number 18. As the race leader goes past, just a short distance to go before he completes another lap. Alan Hambridge in from the standard club, and 18 pulls over to let him go by. 121 in a comfortable third place there, just in front. 162 in second place is Neil Eardley from Northstaff. Carl Hanley sitting there in fourth place from Tameside on the Yamaha 600, and coming round towards the PA point once more. 162 getting a little bit crossed up that time, and obviously Jack cutting up a bit rough there, and the washboard effect making them all treat it with quite a deal of respect. That's another lap gone by for Alan Hambridge, number 136. And 121 obviously dropped it there somewhere. And Carl Hanley, number 3, moves up into third place. '69, Michael Lewis. He's pulling away from Bob Mott now, number 43. 192, Robert Langford. From 123, Stephen Blake. Number 50 also appears to be cruising, and it's Glenn Revel from Salisbury. Or perhaps I'm being unkind. No, he's looking over his shoulder and he's definitely pulling it. As the leader comes down below to complete yet another lap, Alan Hambridge in for standard on the Big Armstrong. And the last lap flag goes out this time for 136. 1 lap to go. John Eardley 162, or rather Neil Eardley 162 in second place. But rather a long way to pull up on the leader. I suspect that he would settle for second place. Third place man, number 3, Carl Hanley from Tameside on the 600 Yamaha. John Pullman on the last lap then, 177 with the Shepparton Club. As the race leader opposite climbs the hill for the last time, now going along the fast back straight, furthest part of the course, and shortly turning right up at the entrance to the circuit, now down and over the artificial jump. About half a lap to go to the checkered flag. The yellow flag's out as the rider stopped just in front of him, but he safely negotiates that turn and comes down towards the haystack for the last time. Hambridge in, 2 more bends to go before he reaches the checkered flag. Down he goes, nice and steady, last bend, straightens it up with a spur. Second place man in 162 then Neil Eardley from North Staffs on another Armstrong. Event 9 is the last of the 250 rides today. As we stand at the vantage point, we can see the riders looking for the last ones to come up, and the revs begin to rise, and the gate goes, away they go. And it looks as if number 7, Brian Tompkins from Banbury, got the whole shot. Certainly led into the first corner. And let's see if he maintains that lead as he disappears from sight and then comes back around. No, 41's taking it up from number 7, 15, 5, 21, 3, 23. And look at Julian Dobb cut through there. Number 5 changed his line in the bottom right-hand corner and went through 2 or 3 riders there in one swoop. Really nice bit of riding there. All safely away from the start and disappeared into the woods, and we await the leader to come out of the exit. Here he comes now, number 41, Tim Price from Kimber. Followed by number 7, Brian Tompkins. Then Julian Dobb, number 5. Those first 4 riders have really pulled out the stops and opened up the lead already. Look at a tremendous jump from number 41 as he went over the man-made jump there. Tim Price on the Honda. Really opening the gap up over number 7, Brian Tompkins from the Banbury Cup there. Then Julian Dobb from Nick Selwyn, number 15. Then 21, Andrew Remner. And then 23, mended his exhaust, is Mark Townsend from Lancaster. Right, we've got the clock running on number 41, and he really is running on the edge there. Hasn't got a margin at all. Number 3, then Gary Evans brings up the back of that pack. Then 55 is Malcolm Witts. Behind 55, it's 9, Barry Shackles. Then 85, Mark Gorman. Then 83, Mark Ware. Behind Mark Ware, 37 is Keith Bree. Then behind Keith Bree, Sean Hales. Behind Sean Hales, it's 19, Martin Appleyard. 59 also cruising there, Mark Wilkes from Bridgenorth. As the leaders away on the far side of the course, so really pulling out all the stops, and in fact the second place have been disputed by 3 riders, and they in turn have opened up about a 50-60 yard gap over the man sitting in 5th place. But it's still number 41 with an incredible lead at the moment, Tim Price from Kimber. Over Julian Dobb, number 5, and Brian Tompkins, number 7. And Nick Selwyn of Stroud, number 15. And the lap time, 1:47.53. As 41 goes past the PA point, followed by Julian Dobb, Brian Tompkins, number 7. Nick Selwyn, number 15. Then Andy Remner, number 21. And Mark Townsend, number 23, trying to go through on the inside there. Then comes Gary Evans, number 3. 55 is Malcolm Witt. Away over on the far side of the course. Would you believe he's stretching his lead? Tim Price in opening up an incredible, what would you say, 130 yards over the second place man Julian Dobb. Makes it look so easy, just slides around that corner, unsteadying foot, turns up the wick, up goes the power and away he goes. It's taking a slightly different line from Julian Dobb there. Most of them keeping very close to the fence this side, but Tim Price seems to be going up the middle of the track and definitely seems to benefit in terms of distance. 5, and past the lap scoring van once more. 41 followed by 5, 7, 15. Then 23 goes through Mark Townsend. 21 is Andrew Remner. Right, the race leader comes through once more in 41, Tim Price. Still about the same distance on this lap as Julian Dobb, number 5, tries to come back at him for the Warsop Club. And number 7, Brian Tompkins for Banbury in 3rd. Still in 4th place, it's Nick Selwyn, number 15, with 23, Mark Townsend from Lancaster, doing battle with him. Right, 41 goes through yet again, making it look so easy. That's Tim Price from the Kinver Club on the Honda. And you think with quite a comfortable lead he would take it easy, but none of it. Really put it on the style. Julian Dobb 5 in 2nd, number 7 in 3rd, and 15 there overshot the corner. Was in 4th place and obviously got a bit of brake trouble, or looks possibly like throttle trouble not shutting off there. Not very happy at all. It was quite a comfortable 4th place and he appears to be taking it very cautiously at the moment. And in fact he's pulled off on the corner just before you go into the woods, so he's obviously got machine trouble there. That's Nick Selwyn, number 15, who was sitting in 4th spot. 29, Alan Craig goes to for Hillingdon, followed by 67, Philip Bishop. .41 coming down past the caravans and haystack. He certainly is stretching his lead now. You can see for yourself the distance is virtually doubled over the last 3 laps. And will he get the last lap flag this time? Not sure. No, they're checking on the time, not this time. So still 41 then in the lead from Julian Dobb, number 5 in 2nd. Then Brian Tompkins 7. And catching him rapidly is number 23, Mark Townsend from Lancaster. So as the race comes to a close, things are beginning to warm up for that 3rd place. And the lad that dropped it down in front of us, P3 going by, and Alan Craig, and it's number 65 who dropped it, Martin Ashwood from the North Wales Club. But he's okay. Remounting, and he will try and restart. And you can see the battle down below for that 3rd place. They really are making a challenge now, look. Number 5 comes through in 2nd place. That's Julian Dobb. And 7 and 23 really putting on a style and disputing this 3rd place. Just keep an eye on these two as they take different lines. Still no last lap flag, so plenty of time. Right, the last lap flag is out, but I can't see it. So 1 lap to go for those two then, disputing that 3rd place. That's number 7 and 23. They disappeared into the woods, so let's see what happens as they come out. But we can see the race leader, he's just emerged from the woods, number 41. last lap, and he climbs the hill for the last time. Number 5 in second place, Julian Dobb. And you can see the race leader right at the top of the hill, look down to his right to see where the second place man was. And that battle still going on for that third place. Up the hill they go, look, number 7 and 23. Down perhaps the fastest part of the course, accelerating downhill, the uphill climb now, then brake and turn right. Coming up to the man-made jump now, both safely over that. A downhill drop, and 23's going up on the outside, taking a different line. And is he going to come through on the inside line? The back end kicks out, and I don't think he will. Unless he tries along this bottom straight. He is, he's going up on the outside line. And number 7 obviously knows he's got a battle on his hands. He daren't make one mistake. As number 41, the race leader, goes past. He looks quite comfortable for the first place. Coming round now to take the checker flag. Number 41 then, Tim Price for the Kimber Club. And second goes to Julian Dobb, long as he stays on. And indeed he does. And look at this battle for third place. 7 and 23, they finish in that order, Brian Tompkins and Mark Townsend.
Event 10 is the last in the 750 Championship round, and the information we've got to tell you is that Andy Breacher broke his hand in the first race today, will not be riding in this last round, so if Philip Small manages to finish, he's virtually got the championship on a plate. Interest still lies with the strong contingent of home riders in the first 10 in the 750 Championship round, so it will prove quite interesting.
And those of you with programmes who already know, we've got quite a lot of local interest. We've got lads from Alton, Havant, Crowborough, Hillingdon, Eastleigh and Bournemouth and Andover. And it looks as if Stephen Craig's got the whole shot, number 6 for the Hillingdon Club. And can you all keep off that track, please? Number 60 is then Kevin Spencer, then Stephen Craig, Philip Small, then 52, 42, 16. Pete Archer well placed there, number 1. And right at the back, Chris Small, and number 20, Andrew Bilson from Rugby. As they all sort themselves out and go into the woods for the first time. Looks like Kevin Spencer then, number 60 for the Tamworth Club. And he started off today's meeting with 111 points under his belt. And he's done very well today, managing to split the local riders in the last race. So adding to his points total, he must be well pleased. And coming out of the woods for the first time, still Kevin Spencer then. Stephen Craig in second. Then Philip Small in third place. And there's certainly a variety of lines as they climb the hill. Look, some on the left, some on the right, some smack in the middle. And look at the incredible distance those first 2 riders, Stephen Craig and Kevin Spencer, have pulled out already over Philip Small, the chap that's won the first 2 races. Be interesting to see just how quick some of these lads are going. I'll put the clock on as they come through. Right, in fact that's changed. That's Kevin Spencer in first, Philip Small in second, and Stephen Craig in third. Right, behind Stephen Craig then we've got number 52, Mark Sylvester, then Pete Archer, number 1 for Alton. Then 16 is Phil Rowett. Behind Phil Rowett is 70, Richard White. And behind Richard White is 44, Ian Davis. Then comes 22, getting caught up in the berm, Howard Curtin Taylor from Stratford. 32 is Tony Mattany riding Breacher's second bike. And 54, 10, 30 and 38. And right at the back, 46 there. And number 4, who's dropped it, is Kevin Reid from the Crowborough Club. He's back on his feet, trying to restart, putting his goggles back on. And he's furiously trying, he's got it going again. A lot of work he's got to do to catch up now. Right on his tail, 42, Nick Hargrave from Rugby. Hargrave, rather, from Rugby.
Meanwhile, the leaders opposite